Let's switch over to fats. Fats in the diet should take up about 20 to 35% of what we eat in total. No more than half of that should be saturated fats, and no less than half of that should be unsaturated fats. Fats in the diet provide us with energy just like carbohydrates do, but it's our secondary source of energy. They help us to make and balance hormones, including our sex hormones. They form our cell membranes, they form our brains and our nervous systems, and they help transport fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K. Fats also provide fatty acids that we can't make on our own, one of which is omega-3, which is abundant in fish who get it from algae. Omega-3s play an important role in neurological development and processing and visual acuity, the permeability of cell membranes, the metabolism of glucose, and the calming of inflammation. For men who consumed more omega-3, the odds of having impaired sperm motility were 32% lower. Among men who ate the most fish, total sperm counts increased 64%. For men who ate 3.5 portions of fish per week, sperm morphology was 27% higher. And among men who consumed the most omega-3 fatty acids, sperm morphology was 44% higher. One type of omega-3 fatty acid is DHA, which represents about 20% of the fatty acids that are found in sperm cell membranes. And because these polyunsaturated fatty acids are most susceptible to oxidation and therefore oxidative stress, we need a steady supply for sperm production and fetal development. For women, one study showed that patients who consumed foods rich in DHA and EPA, another type of omega-3 fatty acid, were more likely to have successful assisted reproductive treatment outcomes. In fact, replacing just 1% of any macronutrient in your diet with omega-3 fatty acids increases the chances of live birth by 2.5 times. Even though DHA and EPA are found in green plants, fish and seafood are the main sources of it in the diet. And while fish that are high in mercury are obviously of concern during pregnancy, this list includes fish that are lowest in mercury and highest in omega-3. It's important to point out that omega-3 is an anti-inflammatory, while omega-6, the other essential fatty acid, is a pro-inflammatory. Both are essential immune functions. Omega-6 is involved in the rigidity of cell walls, blood clotting, and in the inflammatory response. It's also involved in fat storage, which is what they do in plants and why seeds are such rich sources of omega-6. This is why it's important to aim for omega-3 rich vegetable oils like extra virgin olive oil and avocado oil and steer clear of seed oils. While we're at it, some good sources of omega-3s that have a high omega-3 omega-6 ratio are flaxseed oil, cod liver oil, herring oil, sardine oil, and like I said, extra virgin olive oil. From fish directly, squid, fish roe, queen crab, cuttlefish, striped bass, wild salmon. From nuts and seeds, flax seeds and chia seeds. From fruit, jackfruit, papaya, mangoes, cherimoya. And even from vegetables. The second main type of fatty acids is saturated fats, which come mostly from land animals and are usually solid at room temperature and should make up no more than half of your total fat intake. That same case control study that looked at the ideal sperm motility in omega-3s also showed that the odds of having impaired sperm motility were around twice as likely for those that ate the most saturated fats. This comes from foods like chocolate, beef, cheese, butter, sunflower, and palm oil. Although saturated fats get a bad rap, whole minimally processed foods that are rich in saturated fat are usually balanced with an appropriate amount of unsaturated fats as well. So any imbalance typically reflects a diet that consists mostly of processed, low-quality foods, which are commonly combined with sugar and refined carbohydrates. In a 2015 case study, they found that the odds of having impaired sperm motility are 85% higher for men who consumed the most saturated fats. Finally, there's one type of fat that should be avoided at all costs, and that's trans fats. In pregnancy, trans fats impact the growth of the fetus and compete with the transport of other essential fatty acids from the mother to the fetus. Trans fats lower good cholesterol, suppress the excretion of bile acids, increase cholesterol production, and create and worsen essential fatty acid deficiencies.